Yeah, we
You
haven't
guys-
met up in a year. Wasn't it like
It was
July?
my birthday. It was August.
It was August. Okay, so maybe not a year.
It's been a long time now.
So we're going to move on to Gloria's because it's going to take us a little bit to get through, but I think it's going to help quite a few of you. So we're going to work our way through it. And it's all about emailing. This is my favorite thing ever to talk about is email. Can we talk about emails for a hot minute? She said to use my Caroline voice. First of all, how often should I email? Now, Gloria was in a Facebook group and she had a couple members saying that they were overstimulated when emailed weekly, especially in the pandemic. So it got her second guessing what she was doing. All right, here's the thing. I email every single week, sometimes twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week to my list. I know my people can handle twice a week and sometimes 3 times a week, and I'm fine with that. Your list is different, Gloria. So you have to know your avatar. I know I sound like a broken record, but you have to know your people. If you know they want to hear from you every single week, then you email them every single week. If you know that they're getting a bit overwhelmed by being emailed weekly, how do you know? Watch the unsubscribe rate. Then take that back and email every 8 days, every 9 days, whatever it is. You have to know your people and how they respond to your emails. And that way you can base it on there. So if you're like, well, maybe they want to hear from me twice a week, then email them twice a week. And if they start unsubscribing like hotcakes, pull it back to once a week.
So let's talk about something really quick. Last year, because if we're ever trying to put this onto YouTube, we cannot use certain words. So let's just call them unprecedented events of the previous year. Okay. People were sick of emails. I was sick of emails. I love emails. But if I heard one more person say in an email, we're all in this together, things can't be that bad, I was going to rip out my computer screen. I was so cranky. And again, I'm the person who sits there and highlights emails and saves them and prints them out because they make me feel things. That was me, and I was annoyed with emails. First off, we have to remember that in those circumstances, they were unprecedented times. We were all overwhelmed. And the concept of keeping up with email, even like ones that we did want to get, to hear the exact same freaking thing from 18,000 different people, it was too much. But that was unprecedented. This is normal now.
That's a good point.
This is different. Like during unprecedented times, yes, people were overwhelmed. But right now, we want to hear from our people who we care about. A, and B, your people who will want to buy from you, who want to hear what you have to say, are not going to leave your list because you've emailed twice in a week. That's the end of it. And you have to also take into consideration that nothing happens in a vacuum. What were those emails that those people were sending about? Was it just, I'm so overwhelmed with all of my children at home?
Yeah, that's true. You have to know the content of the emails of the people that were getting frustrated. They could have been emails from Kohl's, for heaven's sakes. So you have to know the emails that they're absolutely talking about.
Yeah, like I got so many emails after the vid occurred of like, we're still closed, but we hope you're doing okay. And it's like, you know what, Bath and Body Works, I don't care how you feel about me right now.
Right?
So you have to take into consideration the context.
Yes.
You have to know what those people were emailing about. Were they actually emailing to be helpful? Did they have a successful email relationship with people before? Or was it just like that they were like, I'm bored at home, so I'm just going to email my list every day. And they weren't actually doing anything to build a relationship, and were just annoying their people because they never focused on email before. And now they had time to. And it was just annoying. They didn't know what they were doing. And so their list shrunk.
But and that's the thing. You have to know your readers. Like Caroline, if you're on her email list, she sends novels as emails and her people love them. My people do not have time for a novel. So it has to be short and sweet and to the point. And sometimes my emails don't even scroll. They're like right on one screen because I know my people. Yep. I know they want a really fast email. They want to see pictures in my emails of my animals. So I have to always have pictures in there. And her email, people like GIFs and they like funny comics and lots of emojis and things like that. And my people, they don't. So you have to know your people.
We were talking about email in the sense that when we both first started, the like hot topic of the moment was, what's the right day to send an email? What's the right time to send an email? And for whatever reason, the commonly accepted right day and right time was Monday at 9 a.m. So, but the commonly accepted time was 9 a.m. on Monday, and we got a bunch of emails at 9 a.m. on Monday. And guess what? If you happen to be number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 of the emails that I got at 9 a.m. on Monday, I was going to unsubscribe from you. Like, that was just how it was, because it got to be so annoying.
Yeah.
But it was because that was the commonly accepted thing to do. But in reality, there is no right answer. There is no right answer. I know that there are people. Yeah, you have to know your people. There's I'm going to just keep using, I love Crystal Payne. I want to be best friends with her. But she said something years ago that blew my mind. And it was that she always sends her list, their emails, at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, which, if you look at like any statistical data, is the worst day and time to send out an email. And she's like, we've tried every other day, every other time. 7 a.m. on Saturday is what works for my people in Money Saving Mom. But it's because she knows her people. She's like, that's when, and this was of course pre-vid. She was like, this is when people are packing up their kids to go to soccer games. This is when people are at their phone before the kids have to go to, soccer practice or whatever it is on Saturday mornings. She knew that they were by their phones and could take a second for themselves to read that email. She was meeting them where they were. Does that make sense? Like, there's no right or wrong or answer for like when or how much. It's all about when you want, or when your people are available, when people are wanting to see those emails. Does that make sense?
Next on Gloria's list is, what should a welcome email sequence look like? Now, we have very two different mindsets on this. But for me, my welcome email sequences depend on the freebie that they asked for, because some of my freebies have a lot of upsells to them. So my welcome sequences are going to be much longer. So basically, I deliver my freebie in an email. I do not make it an instant download when they confirm their subscription. And here's why. I am teaching them to click links. And if I want them to be a link clicker from the day they join my email list, I want them to have to click to get my freebie. So in my confirmation, my subscription, what do you call it? The email that says, please confirm your subscription. I'll have a little blurb in there. Yeah, that's it. I'll have a little blurb in there that says, thank you for signing up for my gardening guide. Confirm your subscription and you will get an email on how to access that freebie. Then they get an email instantly upon confirmation. They click that link and they are able to instantly download the freebie from there. I have a separate welcome sequence that goes into effect. It can be anywhere from 3 to 14 days long. And again, it depends on the freebie. Some of my freebies have many different upsells to them. So I'll give them a tip, offer an upsell, a tip, offer an upsell, a tip, and so on. So it all depends when my welcome sequence and how long it happens.
I take a much more streamlined approach to it. I love sending out my freebies to my people. Tracy and I are both big fans of when you teach people how to click by giving them free stuff, they're more excited to click on stuff, even if it's not free. And that, at the end of the day, like, I know that my sales pages are good. I know that they will convert people. So all I need to do is get them to click. And by getting them to learn how to click, by giving them freebies, that's how I do it. So I have two different segments of my audience for the most part. I have my money saving people, and then I have my blogging people. And those two welcome sequences are totally different. The framework is the same, but they're totally different because obviously, like, people who are bloggers might not want to hear about saving money, and people who want to save money aren't necessarily interested about blogging. We have to keep those kinds of things in mind. So inside of my email sequence, I do the automatic download, but then I send it again in the welcome email. Is just in case you missed it, here's your download again. I have my site-wide freebie that goes there. I've never had anybody complain like, this wasn't the download that I got, because even if it was a different download, they're now getting a second download. That's exciting for them. I've never had anybody complain about that. And then I have my first email introducing me and the blog and where they can follow me on social media. Then a bunch of freebies that they can go download, which then turn into tripwires, which then turn into, at the end of the tripwire, there's a page where they can sign up for my membership group. All of these things are talking about where they can go down or up my product ladder. So they start off with the freebie, then they're going to see the tripwire, and then after they've seen 3 days of freebies, they're going to go into the 3-day flash sale for the budget binder if they haven't bought it. So the budget binder is my tripwire. And then after that, if they still choose not to buy, that same sequence, that same 3-day email sequence for my flash sale, they'll see it again in 2 months. That's how it's spaced out. Every 2 months every 2 months I do a sale on the budget binder, and they'll see it then. What I am currently experimenting with is doing an entire 3-month email sequence where they would get an email from me at least every 2 days. And because I've been emailing for so long, I have all of those emails already written. I have a ton of Instagram posts already written. I can use those as emails. I've been doing this now it'll be 6 years in August. I have enough emails. I know my people. I know what I want to say to them. And so this is why it works. I would not recommend this starting out. Okay. This is why I'm telling you what I'm doing, but I do not recommend doing this right off the rip. Yeah. Every day they're going to get a tip with a way that they can give me money. And that's how it's going to be for 3 months. And we're going to see how it goes. And if it works, awesome. And if not, well, then we'll try again something else. It's not a big deal. Are you sending them to your shop for the freebies? Some of them, yes. And it's really, really interesting. So as far as sending them to my Shopify shop, I have at the bottom of all of my emails, you guys can see this too, there is a code that is specific for my email list. And it's something like awesome email 10 or something like that. I have a lot of people who buy. I never promote anything other than you get a special discount code, and it's right there at the bottom in every one of my email signatures. It's there and they can buy from it. I do have a freebie that I have where it's get this for free in Shopify. I have a lot of people who buy something in addition to that free product.
Very rarely do they go for one thing and leave. I would say a large percentage of people, when they go to a shop, even for a freebie, and they're like, oh my gosh, there's $2 mini ebooks. I am so loading up my cart.
Yep. And what we started doing, so pro tip on Shopify, we used to have a freebie section. But what we found was when you have that, it becomes you're only getting people who are there for freebies. And that wasn't what I wanted. So we got rid of the freebie section, but we put the freebies interspersed amongst all of the paid products. So you have to go through and see the paid products in order to see the freebies. So while you're there looking at the free pink cash envelopes that you get, you're like, ooh, there's blue ones. I like those. Oh, there's ones that have little succulents on them. I like those. And you're going to add them to your cart.